Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Ilamour. I'm back with you for another Focus On video for the Settlers 2 10th Anniversary Edition. And today is a big day because today I'm going to show you everything that I've learned, all the ratios, the number of buildings that you want to build. Settlers is, at first glance it just looks like a beautiful, simple game. But you know what? It can get really complicated really quickly. And if you want to play this game properly, it's worth knowing how all the different buildings and everything works, and most importantly, how they work together. So, as you know, we've been looking at each of the individual buildings and figuring out what's the best way to put them together. I've spent quite a lot of time figuring out what I think is the optimal setup. Let's have a look at it. So not only am I going to show you the optimal setup, but I'm going to show you how I would get there as well. So actually we start with as many fishermen as you can, and 4 is a good number because 4 fishermen can feed 1 mine, and so we start there if you've got water close by. And this is kind of creates a food bank. It allows your mines to start working even though it takes the farms quite a long time to get set up. After that we look at our wood, so we get 3 foresters, 3 woodcutters and 2 sawmills. One of those sawmills wants to go close to your capital, and that'll provide for your buildings. You want to put another sawmill close to where you expect to have your metal worker, because even though he's a metal worker, he's getting tools that have wooden parts and they need planks. So that's where I would put those. Woodcutters, obviously you want to have as many as you need to cut down the trees on your map so that you can create better path networks, and the foresters only come in after you've cut down those trees, but you want to be left with 3 of each. Quarries in the same way. I've put 2 here but a question mark at the bottom there because you just want as many quarries as you can afford to take out the stone that's on your map, and then you can create better pathways. So it might be 2, might be more, might be less. However, once you've set those up, you want to move on to your farms. 4 farms, 2 mills, 2 wells and 2 bakers, and that will provide for 2 mines. And the mines that I suggest starting with are a coal mine and an iron mine that can then provide for your first smelter and your metal worker. You'll only have 1 metal worker because that's all you need. Put the metal worker, put these mines as close to that sawmill that you put in as possible. After that, you're doing the same sort of thing, this time just 3 farms, because 7 farms can support 4 mills, 4 bakers, 4 wells and 4 mines. So you have a total of 7, 4, 4 and 4, and that will provide for your first coal mine and gold mine, so your first mint, and you'll start producing coins, which are obviously very important for your military. This is around the time where you want to have 1 more forester, 1 more woodcutter and 1 more sawmill, and I recommend putting that sawmill right at the border because you're going to be expanding out from here. You're going to need those planks to get to the new buildings. This is a great time to build more fishermen because you start off with 6 fishermen at the beginning of a game where you've got lots of resources. You have 2 more rods from your metal worker hopefully by now, and you can support a whole other mine. It's building up that food bank again. But our main aim is to build farms at this point, so 7 more farms which will support, you've guessed it, 4 more mills, 4 more wells and 4 more bakers. That's so that we can have more mines, and you'll notice not 4 mines, it's 5 mines here because we've got those fishermen supporting us. 3 coal, 1 iron, 1 gold, which will allow us to have 1 more smelter, 1 more mint and our first smithy, so we'll start producing weapons. That smithy, you're going to want to be quite careful with that. You're going to want to put it close to a stockhouse, which will also have access to another smithy and a brewery later on, because they all need to go to the same stockhouse in order to produce soldiers. And here in fact you need 1 more farm and 1 more well to support that brewer. You do need more farms than that, but you've got some left over because of the ones that we've built already, so that will perfectly support your brewer. Again, put him close to your smithy. We're back on the farm train, 7 more farms to bring us up to a total of 22, and now we just need 3 mills, 3 wells and 3 bakers, because one of those farms is also supporting your brewer. So this is where we get to 22, 11, we've got 12 wells at the moment. We'll want 1 more towards the end. We've got enough food now for 5 more mines. I recommend 2 coal and 2 iron, and your quarries are probably quarried out by now. So 2 stone mines to support your ongoing building. And finally, you've got enough now for 1 last smelter, so 3 in total, and one more smithy, put them as close to the other smithy as you can. So this system works really well, but there is quite a lot of leftover grain, and that grain can be used by a donkey farm as long as you put in 1 more well, which I do recommend, and this donkey farm will work at about 50% capacity, 55% capacity, and produce more donkeys. So you have to be careful about how you distribute the grain in the water. You don't want the donkey farm to get too much, you put it down to about half. So this is the optimal solution. And you might be saying, well, I don't trust you, Ilamor. Maybe it's not the optimal solution. You're right, maybe it's not, but it's as close as I can get. Let's look at what it produces. In an hour, you're going to get 73 soldiers and 147 coins. That's every hour, as long as this system keeps running. You're going to get 57 donkeys, 73 tools, not just pickaxes, but 73 tools. And interestingly enough, 73 tools is exactly how much you need to produce all of these buildings. For those of you who are counting, there are more than 73 buildings, but some of them don't require a tool. So there you are. You get 283 stone and 167 planks, which is going to be more than enough. The stone is probably going to be a little less because your quarries will run out, and this is saying that your quarries are ongoing, but it's going to be more stone than you could possibly need. You will also produce 25 water, 2 food, and 5 extra beer. So a few extra goods that you didn't need, they'll just get stored. So after 60 minutes we have 832 items produced, and 800 of them are useful. They're end game items that you want. That's a 96% efficiency. So take a screenshot of this, feel free to use it in your games or as you're thinking about how to set up your systems. But some of you may be saying, Ilamor, this is unrealistic. It's not possible. 22 farms, are you crazy? Yeah, I'm a little bit crazy, but it's also possible. This is level 8 of the campaign, and I decided to use my strategy on this, and although the donkey farm is over here and just being completed as the last thing, the rest of it is working as we set it up. And it's not perfect, you know, there's some places where I wish I could have put buildings closer together. I've also got a shipyard that I've built some ships with, but this is the ratios that I have put out in this video. So is it working? Yeah, it's working pretty well. Our economy is going up faster than theirs. Coins produced, producing way more coins than they are, and my productivity is up at 94%. So yeah, pretty close to what we estimated. Actually, their productivity is calculated in a different way, but we would expect it to be similar, and I would also expect my productivity to be higher than my enemies. And we haven't had any defeated soldiers because we haven't actually met the enemy yet. So I'm going to let this run. I've always found this level to be quite easy to get to the portal, but quite hard to wipe out the other players. There's 3 of them, they have lots of room and lots of resources, so we're going to play this out and see if this strategy will work. And I'm not going to build more buildings. The only thing I'm going to do is replace mines and fishermen once they run out of resources to keep things going. So let's play it along and see how we go. Well, I'll say we're doing alright. We're actually attacking and defeating the pink team, the yellow team, and we've met the green team up here as well, and we're just kind of waiting in our stronghold to dispose of them. We've made some inroads up here, so yeah, it's going well. But if I look at the statistics, the state of our economy just keeps on going up and up and up. We're doing very, very well, and coins produced, we're at 600 now. They're much lower, and defeated soldiers, we've defeated many more of their soldiers, and we've got more coming. So it's going pretty well. We have overtaken the portal, but that's not my aim in this one. My aim is actually to have an economy good enough to completely wipe out all of our enemies. Let's see if our economy can support that. And the short answer is yes. Yes, it can. We've overtaken the whole map. We've overtaken all the harbours are ours. We had a bit of a lull in the middle where we ran out of iron. We couldn't find anywhere else to get iron until I managed to push into this area and set up those iron mines. But once that was done, we conquered everywhere. If we look at the statistics, we defeated over 500 of their soldiers with this. The state of our economy is fantastic and just kept on going up and up and up. We produced over 750 coins altogether, and there is more gold left on this map, but obviously we did that quicker than our enemies could. And although our productivity was at 94-95% for most of this game, it has now gone quite a long way down because we don't have any iron left, and we've run out of quite a lot of other materials like fish. I've just left these up and left these mines up, so productivity looks like it's down at about 50%, but actually it's been up over 90% for most of this game. So yeah, it is possible. It does give you a great economy, and there are some things I learned through doing this about the stockhouse, so we'll be looking at that in the next video. But for now, that's all from me. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been instructional. I hope trying to figure these things out and experiment with them will mean that you enjoy Settlers 2 10th Anniversary Edition as much as I am. So thanks for watching. If you made it all the way through, well done. This took me a lot of work and a lot of time, so if you'd like or comment on the video or subscribe to the channel, I'd be really grateful, and it would make me feel good about the time that I've spent putting into this. I hope you have a lovely day. I certainly have, and I'll see you in the next video.